welcome back to Leap Taken. I'm Mika. Here at Leap Taken, we talk all things witchy, craft-related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. Today, we're diving deep into the witch as oracle. Not just a fortune teller, not just someone who flips cards or tosses bones. We're talking about the living oracle, the witch who channels deep truth, who speaks from the still space between time, who reads not just the future, but the field of reality itself. We'll explore tools like tarot and oracle decks, yes, but this isn't about technique. This is about what it means to be a vessel for wisdom, a walker between timelines, and someone who listens for the voice beneath the noise. What is an oracle? The original oracles, like Delphi in Greece, were considered the literal voice of gods. But the word oracle doesn't just mean a person who predicts the future. It means to speak. Oracular work is the act of giving voice to the invincible. Witches have always held that role. We speak what's hidden. We name what's coming. We remind others of what they've forgotten. To be a modern oracle isn't to sit on a pedestal. It's to be in communion with your intuition, your dreams, your ancestors, your own deepest knowing. It's sacred, it's messy, it's powerful. Dream work and oracular states. Let's talk about the dream realm. So many of us receive messages in dreams. These aren't random images. They're oracular fragments stitched into the language of your subconscious. In ancient Egypt, Greece, and indigenous traditions across the world, dreams were respected as truth. Temples were built where people would go to receive divine messages during sleep. Today, you have your own inner temple, your body, your bed, your dream journal. The oracle doesn't wait for a sign. She cultivates stillness. She listens. She sets the space before sleep so that visions can arrive. So try this. Before bed, ask, what do I need to see right now? Then listen, record, don't rush to decode. Let it unfold like a story. Tarot and oracle cards as timelines. Let's talk cards. Tarot is a portal. Oracle cards are the echo of your guides. Each spread is like a snapshot from a particular timeline, one that you've aligned with right now. When we pull cards, we aren't asking what's destined. We're asking, where am I headed if nothing changes? What energy is available to me? What's hiding beneath the surface? Reading cards as an oracle isn't about memorizing meanings. It's about dialogue between you and spirit, between you and your highest self. A card can be a prophecy or a warning, a pattern or a portal. Being an oracle means you feel when the cards vibrate with truth. You've felt it, that moment when a card jumps out and you just know this is the message. That's you stepping into your oracular power. The subconscious as an oracular landscape. Let's go inward. One of the most overlooked oracles, your subconscious mind. This is where your inner archetypes live. Your fears, your hidden truths, your unspoken desires. When you cast a spell or pull a card, you're engaging your subconscious. You're rewriting code. You're planting a message that shifts perception and opens possibility. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make this unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." An oracle makes the unconscious conscious through trance, through repetition, through symbol, through storytelling. She becomes fluent in the language of image, sensation, and emotion. This is why rituals work, why affirmations land, why cards speak, because they bypass logic and speak directly to the soul. Channeling truth in a noisy world. Being an oracle in today's world is not easy. There's so much noise, so much information, so many distractions. But the oracle is quiet, still, present. To channel truth, you need to clear your field, turn inward, create ritual. Let your body become a container for insight. Sometimes truth comes like lightning. Other times it arrives slowly through synchronicity, nudges, dreams, and reflections in the world around you. But here's the key. An oracle learns to trust her knowing, even when it doesn't make sense, even when no one else sees it yet, even when it contradicts what's comfortable. Oracular truth isn't always easy, but it's always liberating. You know, I had to bring this in. Practical magic. That whole movie is dripping with oracle energy. Aunt Frances and Aunt Jet, living oracles. They knew what the townspeople didn't want to admit. They worked with what wasn't said. Sally, too, when she knew her husband was going to die, that wasn't a curse per se. That was her having her oracle moment. They channeled the truth and lived in that uncomfortable knowing. There's a scene where the town comes to them for help. That's the role of the oracle in community. Truth when it matters most. The lesson from practical magic? You can be soft, stylish, sensual, and still hold power. Still carry prophecy in your bones. Did you know about the Sibyls? These were female oracles in the ancient Greco-Roman world, often erased or mythologized. But there were African Sibyls too, especially the Libyan Sibyl, believed to have come from North Africa. She was said to speak with the voice of the divine and hold insight into fate itself. The church eventually absorbed and rebranded them, but make no mistake, these women were timekeepers, prophets, and wisdom holders. Your lineage as a witch, as oracle, may go back further than you think. We are the spiritual descendants of those who saw what others refused to look at. Oracles, timelines, and the witch's role. Let's bring it all together. When you live as an oracle, you walk between timelines. You feel when something isn't right before it happens. You catch the ripple of synchronicity. You sense who people are before they know themselves. You are not just forecasting, you're co-creating. You're shaping reality with your presence, your words, your focus. To be an oracle is to remember that time isn't linear. It spirals, it loops, it responds. And your awareness is the tuning fork that shapes what comes next. As a witch, you don't just read what's coming. You decide which thread to pull, which seed to water, which version of reality you're ready to embody. That is power. That is prophecy. That is the path of the modern oracle. If this stirred something in you, drop a comment below. Are you living as a witch and oracle? Do you receive your messages through dreams, through cards, through inner knowing? Your magic is real, your voice is powerful, and your truth matters. Until next time, this is Leap Taken, where I talk all things witchy, craft-related, law of attraction, manifesting esoteric, and everything else in between. Keep listening and keep channeling.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out.